Daniel Cormier responded to Derrick Lewis calling him a piece of shit. Here's what Derrick had to say at the UFC Edmonton Media Day.
DC, proud of DC, man, because I'm still not sitting right with me, man. I don't know, man. Do people really like DC like that?
I don't know if DC will come back to fight.
Come on, man.
Like, what would you challenge?
I told DC in his face, man. That guy a piece of He's a piece of scumbag, man. DC.
Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit more? Why?
He know why.
DC knows why?
Yeah, DC know why. And everyone know why, too. He disrespect that Popeye's chicken. But other than that, he's a piece of
So Ariel Helwani called DC yesterday during the Ariel Helwani show, and DC says that he's actually unsure if Derrick is actually mad at him.
What's up, dog? DC, we're about to wrap up the show, and all of a sudden I'm on Twitter, and I see this clip of Derrick Lewis talking about you. Have you seen this clip?
No, I haven't.
I can't decide if he's mad at you or not. And I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but he's saying all these things, and we weren't sure if it's a joke or if it's a shoot. Is he working or is he...
I don't know, because I haven't seen him for a while, but I was pretty hard on him about retiring because he had lost a couple fights, and I was kind of telling the truth, and he seemed mad at me, but I haven't seen him. But I'm going to see him this weekend, and I'm going to kind of ask him, like, yo, are you mad at me?
Can I tell you what he said?
Yeah, tell me.
He called you a piece of and a scumbag. But then he mentioned the Popeye's chicken thing, and then we're like, oh, is he joking? But then he's like, but besides that, he knows what he did.
There's a little underlying, maybe. It sounds like it might be a little underlying. He might be a little pissed at me, maybe, because of the way I talked about him. I don't know what fight it was where he didn't look great. But then he knocked the last guy out, and I was like, well, I'm glad he's back. I don't know. It kind of, my opinions go with their performances, and I think maybe that's what it is. But in terms of anything else, Derrick and I don't really have many things that we do together outside of just the Popeyes thing and in our fight. But it's like we can't be mad at each other. Like, we already fought. It's like it's settled.
I said that he should be forever grateful to you. You gave him a shot, 3 weeks notice, Madison Square Garden, world title fight, his biggest payday. He should be thanking you from now until eternity.
He's making big money now, constantly. We kind of put him in an area, and he's staying there, and I'm happy for him.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, though. I really don't know what it is. I'm gonna watch. I need to see his face. I need to see how he looks to see if he's really mad at me. But when I see him this weekend, I'll walk right up to him and go, hey, what's going on?
Kamaru Usman is unsure that Khamzat Chimaev will be able to finish Dricus Du Plessis. Kamaru said Khamzat is hell in that first round. He is hell when he's dry like that, and he's big and strong, and he still moves like a welterweight. It's hell for anybody. Do I think he could do that to Dricus? I think 100% he could take Dricus down. I think he can keep him down, but I don't know if he can get a finish because Dricus is very, very tough. There's a reason Dricus is the champ. He's very tough, and Dricus will not stop trying. Will Khamzat take him down? Yes. Could he keep him down? Yes. Maybe the whole first round, but can he finish him? I don't know. Then Askren gives his take on the ongoing feud between Dana White and Francis Ngannou. Ben says that he had a similar experience with Dana, and when Dana doesn't get his way, he just starts telling lies.
I obviously had the same experience with Dana, and I mostly think Dana does a great job. Obviously, as a businessman, strictly judging that, he does an amazing job. I think he showed a lot of courage when he brought the UFC back for all other professional sports, for example. I respect that a lot. There's a lot of things that are very respectable about Dana's personality. But in my own experience, and actually we were at the meeting together in 2013, it was the Monday after Jones fought Gustafsson. Mm-hmm. And as you know, you can vouch for me, I wasn't offered a contract. I went in there and I pretty much said, listen, guys, I want to be done with Bellator. I want to prove I'm the best in the world, and I want to fight the best. And that's it. That's all I want to do. And I was not offered a contract. To which point then Dana spent years lying, saying I didn't want to fight the best. I didn't want challenges. I was running away. And that couldn't have been further from the truth. And so it sucked to have this guy essentially, it is essentially slander. I wasn't going to do a lawsuit or anything, but saying things about me that I knew weren't true. But then I think because I was continuing to have success and people were continuing to follow me, he wanted me off in a dark corner where everyone ignored me or something. I don't know, but he's done the same thing with Cyborg. I believe Randy Couture had a similar experience. Obviously not Francis, but there's this weird part of Dana's personality where if he doesn't get exactly what he wants, he just starts crapping on people. And because he has a big microphone and because he is generally very truthful, so people just believe him. I had to deal with many years of Dana telling lies about me that were just really harmful to me that he had no reason or basis for doing.
Javier Mendez discusses a potential fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. He does not think that Ilia will be able to go submission for submission with Islam. Speaking to Submission Radio, Mendez said that would be an area I'd be foolish to want to try to go up against boxing for boxing. That's not a smart move, you know, and it just would be like if Ilia decided to go submission for submission with Islam, that's not a smart move on his part either. So it's all strategy and how you approach it, how your fighter approaches it, and what mistakes you can correct while the fight is going on. That's what I think is more important than anything. When the fight does get matched, it's just your game plan, your strategy, executing it. Whether he can hang with Islam or not on the ground, I would have to say no. Based on what I see with everybody in Islam, the only person that really did it the most with him was Khabib. And at the end of the day, the longer you grapple with Islam, the worse it's going to get. I mean, when he took Max down with ease in the first round, I said, that's the way you fight MMA. And he has a very strong stand-up game. I would think that he's probably the best boxer in the whole entire division. He's really crisp and very on point with his boxing, and therefore you see how he uses it really, really well. He's a complete fighter, but his boxing, I think, is his best attribute out of everything he does. He's impressive, very impressive. Derrick Lewis plans to put on an impressive performance against Jonathan Janice this weekend at UFC Edmonton.
It was very important to me to get that victory over a guy like that because I felt like that he shouldn't have been in the cage with me, and so I had to go out there and really perform to the best of my ability. Proving everything for myself and for my fans and everyone to know that that guy should never been in the cage with me. I just went in there and just felt like 100% confident about everything that I've been doing in the gym and mentally. How I felt like I had nothing to lose and stuff like that, and just not putting pressure on myself. So I just went out in there and just was really relaxed. They said he was like a kickboxer, stuff like that, so I gotta watch the leg kicks. I know he's gonna try to do a lot of leg kicks, try to take my power away. And you gotta watch out for his hooks, stuff like that, and they say he got a little speed to him. So, yeah, watch out for stuff like that.
Germaine De Randamie is officially retired from fighting.
Hey guys, Germaine the Iron Lady here. This is not how I imagined it, envisioned it, and dreamed about it. But sometimes in life, you gotta roll with the punches, like they said, right? The last couple of weeks I've been in close contact with the UFC since I've been cleared by the doctor. And I literally backed them for a fight this year. I backed them. Give me one more fight this year. The UFC told me they had no more spots left on the cards. Every card was fully booked for this year, which in a way, of course, disappointed me. Like I said, I've not envisioned it this way, and it hurts, but it is what it is. After 25 years, I'm gonna lay my gloves down. This is it. No more fighting. I wish I had one more fight. One more fight. I wanted to make that work so bad. One more time. But like I said, it's not gonna happen. So I decided, it's time to lay my gloves down. I'm retiring from fighting.
Kenny Florian explains why he thinks Max Holloway should go back up to the lightweight division. Kenny says that Max will have more opportunities to challenge for the belt at lightweight.
Man, Max is an absolute stud. I do think, though, that his best weight class is going to be 155 pounds. I think that at this point in his career, he's a huge featherweight. And while I do believe that it probably was his best weight cut at 145 for a long time, I think that he can put out his best performances at 155 pounds. I don't think he's going to be short on power. He's not going to be short on size in that weight class. I think we could see more from Max Holloway there. And he has more opportunities to challenge for the belt in that weight class, in my opinion, than he does at 145 at this stage. So I think it makes a lot of sense. And Max is still an absolute legend, had a great performances, found some success against Topuria, particularly with that jab and those combinations. But in the end, Topuria was able to get him up, close to the cage where he does a lot of that damage. And even Holloway's legendary chin couldn't withstand the power.
Belal Muhammad is out of his upcoming title defense against Shavkat Rakhmonov at UFC 310. Belal posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "Caught a bone infection in my foot. Had to put a PICC line in my arm for IV antibiotics. The next 6 weeks with no physical activity. Allah's plans is the best plan. I'm sorry to everyone that were coming to see me. I'll be back soon, inshallah." Shavkat reacted on X. He wrote, "Wishing Belal a quick recovery. We'll meet when you're back at 100%. For now, I'm ready to take on any contender for an interim title at UFC 310. Ian Garry appears to be down to face Shavkat on short notice. After the news broke that Belal was out, Ian posted this video to his social medias.
There's some big names, there's some cool matchups, you know, there's Shavkat, 18-0, undefeated. I'd love to get my hands on him. I've trained with him. I have nothing but respect for the guy, but I want to be the first guy to take his own. I know I can do it. That fight excites me so much. I've nothing but respect for the dude. It's purely out of, I don't want anyone else to beat him before me. He's 18-0, I'm 15-0. Let's go out there and put on a show and let's see who's really better."
Conor McGregor reacted to Belal pulling out. Belal was very critical of Conor pulling out of the Michael Chandler fight due to a toe injury. Conor responded on X with laughing crying emojis. MMA Mania reported that the UFC is now scrambling for a new main event and has approached Alex Pereira to step in and fight Magomed Ankalaev on short notice at UFC 310. This would be Alex's 4th title defense in just 8 months. Alex appears to be down for the idea. On Instagram, he left a comment on this post, breaking the news that Belal is injured. Alex wrote a phone emoji. Magomed Ankalaev also appears to be down. On X, he also wrote a phone emoji. Nothing is official just yet. Be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA. We'll be keeping you guys updated. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's from Rewinding VHS. It says, "The biggest fight for O'Malley at the moment is reality." The second one's from Smirkus J. It says, "Ilia would flatline O'Malley." And the final one's from Methhead Mayhem Miller. It says, "Gaethje is 35, Poirier is 35. Face it, fellas, our guys are getting old." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.